There, now is it good? It was being a little funky. Should be better now. Sorry about that. I had to immediately stop it and then start it up again. Let's see. How do I... Give me 1 second. How do I delete a video? Hold on. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. I'm trying to figure out something real fast. So give me just a few moments while I figure this out. Let's see. Okay. Alright, I should be getting started in just a few moments. Let's see. Hold on. God, I keep... Okay, now I should be getting started on the game in just a few moments, so thank you for whoever's hopping on. I appreciate it. Let's see. Hold on. Okay. Alright. Hello, Ready Rose. Thank you for hopping on. I appreciate it. So, this game was highly requested by one person. So I will be playing it because, yeah, he's like, play it, play it, play it. And, yeah. Let me know if the audio is all good and everything, please. And you'll see I turned off the disable the adult content so I won't get banned off Twitch. Okay, let's see. If I can adjust things. Let's see. Sorry it's taking so long for me to get started. Okay, y'all, you ready for this? You ready for me to get started with Katawa Shoujo? Yeah, ready? I'm gonna try to read slow. I talk really fast. You really would have, wouldn't you, Roman Viking? Okay. A light breeze causes the naked branches overhead to rattle like wooden wind chimes. This is a popular retreat for couples in the summer. The deciduous trees provide a beautiful green canopy far out of sight of teachers and fellow students. But now in late winter, it feels like I'm standing under a pile of kindling. I breathe into my cupped hands and rub them together furiously to prevent them from numbing in this cold. Just how long am I expected to wait out here anyway? I'm sure the note said 4 p.m. Ah yes, the note slipped between the pages of my math book while I wasn't looking. Can I save? Yeah, let's save. I just want to know how to save. Cool. Anyway, as far as cliches go, I'm more of a fan of the letter in the locker, but at least this way shows a bit of initiative. Okay, let me turn it down. Is that better? Let me know. As I ponder the meaning of the note, the snowfall gradually thickens. The snowflakes silently falling from the white painted sky are the only sign of time passing in this stagnant world. Ooh. Oh. This slow descent upon the frozen forest makes it seem like time has slowed to a crawl. Ooh, can you hear that, guys? The rustling of dry snow underfoot startles me. Ah! Sorry. Interrupting the quiet mood. Someone is approaching me from behind. Okay, Roman Viking, that's scary. I don't know, what if I get a bad ending? I feel like I always get bad endings. Hisao, you came? A hesitating, barely audible question. However, I recognize the owner of that... See. Okay. Hello, Callias! Thank you for joining! However, I recognize the owner of that dainty voice instantly. I feel my heart skip a beat. It's a voice I've listened to hundreds of times, but never as more than an eavesdropper to a conversation. I turn to face his voice, the voice of my dreams. My heart begins to race. Aw, how cute. Look at this. How romantic. Iwanako, I got a note telling me to wait here. It was yours? Damn it. I spent all afternoon trying to come up with a good line and that was the result. Nerves will do that, bro. Pathetic. Pathetic. Yes. I asked a friend to give you that note. I'm so glad you got it. Wait, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Are you serious? Made by people on 4chan? Oh my god. A shy, joyous smile. That's hilarious. A shy, joyous smile that makes me so tense I couldn't move a single muscle even if I tried. Ooh, this is so romantic. Oh god. Oh, his heart's beating. My heart is pounding now as if I were trying to burst out from my chest and claim the girl for itself. JK, I'm gonna die. So, here we are. Out in the cold. Once again, the word stirs up the branches. That word noise is music to my ears. Iwanako flinches ever so softly against the gust of the wind. As it passes, she rights herself as is supported by some new confidence. Her eyes lock with mine. She lazily twirls her long, dark hair around her finger. All the while, the anxious beating of my heart grows louder. Oh, he's gonna die. My throat is tight. I doubt I could even force a word out if I tried. You see, I wanted to know if you'd go out with me. I stood there motionless, save for my pounding heart. I want to say something in reply, but my I like how the chords feel like they've been stretched beyond the breaking point. Hisao? I reach up to try to massage my throat, but this only sends spikes of blinding pain along my arms. Hisao! Oh, my whole body freezes safe, my eyes would shoot open in terror. Oh, bro. Hisao! The beating in my chest suddenly stops, and I go weak at the knees. The world around me, the canopy of bare branches, the dull winter sky, Iwanako running towards me, all these fade to black. The last things I remember before slipping away are the sounds of Iwanako screaming for help and the insistent... I can't talk today, guys. Clatter of the branches above. Ooh, this is getting intense. Ooh. Oh no, I'm in the hospital. 4 Leaf Studios presents Katawa Shoujo. Ooh. Let's do this. Me too, I feel ready. You know I literally cannot talk, like, at all. This is really cool animation though right here. This is really cool. Thanks, guys, for making a good game. Pimmy, I like that name. This is... I got like 20 minutes in, so I got past this part. I just got to the school, and that's basically all that happened. Like, I was doing a school tour or something. Let's see. Oh, that's really cool. This is cool. Visual novel goals. When I make my own visual novel goals. What a cool intro, though. Streams usually range from an hour to like 2 hours, just depending on what I feel and work and everything. Oh god, it's been 4 months since my heart attack. Yeah. In that whole time, I can probably count the times I've left the hospital room unsupervised on one hand. 4 months is a pretty long time when you're left alone with your thoughts. So I've had plenty of time to come to terms with my situation. Arrhythmia. Ooh. Excuse me. Excuse me. A strange word, a foreign, alien one. One that you don't want to be in the same room with. A rare conditioning. It causes the heart to react erratically and occasionally beat way too fast. It can be fatal. Apparently I've had it for a long time. They said it was a miracle that I was able to go on for so long without anything happening. Is that really a miracle? I guess it was supposed to make me feel better, more appreciative of my life. Yeah, it really didn't do anything to cheer me up. I've been in the hospital for 4 months, bro. Still lying in this bed. My parents, I think, were hit harder by the news than I was. They practically had 2 hemorrhages apiece. I hardly had a full day by then to digest everything. To them, it was all fresh. They were even willing to sell our house in order to pay for a cure. Of course, there isn't a cure. Aw. Because of the late discovery of this condition, I've had to stay at the hospital to recuperate from the treatments. And let's save. Let's save. Okay, anyway. When I was first admitted, it felt as if I was missed. For about a week, my room in the ward was full of flowers, balloons, and cards. But the visitors soon dwindled, and all the get-well gifts began trickling to nothing shortly after. I realized that the only reason I'd gotten so many cards and flowers because sending me their sympathy had been turned into a class project. Oh my god! Maybe some people were genuinely concerned. Okay, sounds good. Okay. Oops, what did I just do? Maybe some people were genuinely concerned, but I doubt it. Even in the beginning, I barely had visitors. By the end of the first month, only my parents came by on a regular basis. This is so sad. Iwanaka was the last to stop visiting. After 6 weeks, I never saw her again. We never had that much to talk about when she visited. Anyway, this is so sad. We didn't touch the subject that was between us on that snowy day ever again. The hospital? It's not really a place I'd like to live in. I would love to live in a hospital. No, I was kidding. The doctors and nurses feel so impersonal and faceless. I guess because they are in a hurry and they have a million other patients waiting for them, but it makes me feel uncomfortable. For the first month or so, I asked the head cardiologist every time I saw him for a rough estimate when I'd be able to leave. He never answered anything in a straightforward way, but told me to wait and see if the treatment and surgeries worked. So I idly observed the scar that the surgeries had left in my chest slowly change its appearance over time, thinking of it as some kind of omen. I still ask the head cardiologist about leaving, but my expectations are low enough now that I'm not disappointed anymore when I don't get a reply. That's depressing. The way he shuffles around the answer shows that there is at least some hope. At some point I stopped watching TV. I don't know why. I just did. Maybe it was the wrong kind of escapism from my situation. I started reading instead. There was a small library at the hospital, although it was more like a storeroom for books. I began working my way through it, one small stack at a time. After consuming them, I would go back for more. I found that I like reading, and I think I even became a bit addicted. I started feeling naked without a book in my hands. This is just depressing, but I love the stories. Oh, child! That was what my life was like. The days became increasingly harder to distinguish from each other, differing only by the book I was reading and the weather outside. It felt like time blurred into some kind of gooey mass when I was trapped inside instead of moving within. A week could go by without me really noticing it. Sometimes I'd pause in realization. I'm just saying I feel bad for him. I don't know his actual age. Sometimes I'd pause in realization that I didn't know what day of the week it was. But, I mean, maybe I won't be calling him child later in the game, especially because it's like an adult-rated game that I had to turn off the adult things for. Okay. Okay. But other times, all the things that surrounded me would painfully crash into my consciousness through the barrier of nonchalance I had set up for myself. Okay, 17, okay. The pages of my book would start to feel sharp and burning hot, and the heaviness in my chest had become so hard to bear that I had to put the book aside and just lay down for a while, looking at the ceiling as if I was going to cry. But that happened only rarely, and I couldn't even cry. This is so sad! Today, the doctor comes in and gives me a smile. He seems excited, but not very. It's like he is trying to make an effort to be happy on my behalf. My parents are here. It's been a few days since I've last seen them. Both of them are even sort of dressed up. Is this supposed to be some sort of special occasion? It's not a party. There's this ritual that head cardiologist has. He takes his time, sorting his papers, then setting them aside as to make a point of the pointlessness of what he just did. Then he casually sits down on the edge of the bed next to mine. He looks me in the eyes for a moment. Hello, Hisao. How are you today? I don't answer him, but I smile a little back at him. I believe that you can go home. Your heart is stronger now, and with some precautions, you should be just fine. We have all your medications sorted out. I'll give your father the prescription. The doctor hands a sheet of paper to my dad. Thanks. To my dad, his expression turns wooden as he reads it quickly. So many. I take it from his hand and take a look at myself, feeling numb. How am I supposed to react to this? Ooh, the absurdly long list of medications staring back at me from the paper seems insurmountable. Wow. They all blend together in a sea of letters. This is insane. Side effects, adverse effects, contradictions, and dosages, are listed line after line with cold precision. I try to read them, but it's futile. I can't understand any of it. Attempting to only makes me feel sicker. All this for the rest of my life, every day. Exactly, Ready, Rose. That's exactly what the kind of thing I'm getting. You're gonna die. I'm afraid that is the best we can do at this point. However, new medications are always being developed, so I wouldn't be surprised to see that list fade over the years. Years? What kind of confidence booster is that? I'd have felt better if you hadn't said anything at all. Also, I've spoken with your parents, and I believe that would be best if you don't return to your own school. What? Please, calm down, Hisao. Listen to what the doctor has to say. Calm down? The way he says it tells me he knew full well that I wouldn't like it. Am I going to be homeschooled? Whatever my concern shows is ignored. We all understand that your education is paramount. However, I don't think that it's wise for you to be without supervision. So are you saying that he can actually die? At least not until we're sure that your medication is suitable. So I've spoken to your parents about a transfer. It's a school called Yamaku Academy that specializes in dealing with disabled students. Disabled? What am I? It has a 24-hour nursing staff and it's only a few minutes from a highly regarded general hospital. The majority of students live on the campus. Think of it as like a boarding school of sorts. It's designed to give students a degree of independence while keeping help nearby. Independence? Oh, dude! It's a school for disabled kids. Don't try to disguise that fact. If I was really free, there wouldn't be a 24-hour nursing staff, and you wouldn't make a hospital being nearby a selling point. Of course, that's only if you want to go, but your mother and I aren't really able to homeschool you. We went out there and had a look a couple weeks back. I think you'd like it. It looks like I really don't have a choice. Compared to other heart problems, people with your condition usually tend to live long lives. You'll need a job one day, and this is a good opportunity to continue your education. This isn't an opportunity. Don't call it an opportunity. Don't call it a goddamned opportunity. Well, you should be excited at the chance to go back to school. I remember you wanted to return to school, and while it's not the same one, a special school, that's an insult. That's what I want to say. It's a step down. He's so ableist. It's not what you think. All the students there are pretty active in their own sort of way. It's geared towards students that can still get around and learn, but just need a little help in one way or another. Your father's right, and many other graduates of the school have gone on to do amazing things. A person doesn't have to be held back by their disability. Of one of my colleagues at another hospital is a graduate. I don't care. A person doesn't have to be held back by their disability. That's what a disability is. I really hate that something so important was decided for me. But what can I do about it? A normal life is out of the question now. It's funny, I had always thought my life was actually kind of boring, but now I miss it. I want to protest. I want to blame this lack of reaction on shock or fatigue. I could easily yell out something now. Something about how I could go back to school anyway. But no. I don't say anything. The fact is that I know it's futile. I look around the room feeling very tired of all this. The hospital, doctors, my condition, everything. I don't see anything that would make me feel any different. There really isn't a choice. Why did the music stop? I know this, but the thought of going to a disabled school, what are those even like? As much as I try to put a positive spin on this, it's very difficult. Don't judge them! But let me try. A clean slate isn't a bad thing. That's all I could think of to get me through this. At least I still have something. Even if it's a special school, 'cause I'm a jerk. It's something. It's a fresh start. My life isn't over. It would be a mistake to resign myself to thinking that. At the very least, I'll try to see what my new life will look like. Oh, we're going to the school. Going to the school. Oh, Hisao. Act 1, life expectancy. Yeah, I know. I have water with me, so. But yeah, I should be fine. The gate looked far too pompous for what it was. In fact, gates in general seem to do that, but this one especially so. Red bricks, black wrought iron, and glazed plaster assembled to a whole that didn't feel welcoming at all. I wonder if it looked like what a gate for school should look like, but I couldn't really decide. Probably no. Of course, I didn't want to get stuck on thinking about the gate for too long, so I entered through it with a brisk pace that felt surprisingly good. Moving forward feels good. Oh, what a beautiful school. So I walked towards the main building of Yamaku Academy with this brisk pace. I'm alone as my parents are taking my stuff to the dorms, and there's supposed to be someone waiting for me. The grounds are incredibly lush, filled with green. It doesn't feel like the grounds of school would have, more like a park with a clean walkway going past trees and the smell of fresh cut grass and all other park-like things. Words like clean and hygienic pop into my mind. Makes me shudder. I shake them off. Stay open-minded now. It's your new life. You have to take it as it comes. That's what I tell myself. A few big buildings loom behind the leafy canopies. Too big and too many for just a school. Everything seems off. Oh, that's cool. That's I love it. Oh my god, that's hilarious. It's different from what I thought I knew about schools. It's an uncanny valley. Even though I was told this is my new school, in the back of my head it doesn't feel like one. Okay. I wonder if the feeling is real or caused by my expectations of a school for the disabled. Bro! Speaking of that, I don't see anyone else here. It's kinda eerie. Oof, that sounds rough, Callius. That would be me in any game because I'm so bad at games. It makes me wish there was somebody here so I could anchor myself to something tangible instead of having this feeling that I stepped into another dimension. The trees hum with the wind and the green hues flashing all over me catch my attention. It makes me think about hospitals again. How they say that the operating rooms are painted green because green is a common color. So why am I feeling so anxious despite all this greenery? Only after I stand in front of the haughty main building, I surprise myself by realizing why the gate bothered me. It was the last chance I had to turn back, even if I had no life I could return to. I just suck at games in general. Like, any sort of game, I'm just so bad. Yeah, that sounds awful, Roman Viking. But still, after entering, there was absolutely no way I could go back anymore. No, yeah, even then, because I get bad endings. Like, I played this one game and I got the worst ending. Feeling nervous and with this realization set in my head, I open the front door. A tall man of bad posture notices me as I enter. We're the only people in the lobby, so it's only logical. Oh, you must be Nikki! Dakai! So you are. Excellent. Looks hilarious. I'm your homeroom and science teacher. My name is Muto. Welcome. Oh, that's gonna be me. I'm gonna be crying in this game, just letting you know. We exchange a handshake that is neither firm nor sloppy, but he looks at his watch. The head nurse asks you for a brief check-in visit, but there's no time for that now. Oh, should I go later? Yes, afternoon is probably fine. We should get going and introduce you to the rest of the class. They're waiting already. Waiting for me? I don't really like being the center of attention, but I guess it's inevitable in a situation like this. Excuse me. Somehow, not knowing what is waiting for me makes me feel really nervous. Thinking of this, I almost miss what the teacher is saying. Do you want to introduce yourself to the class? How do I answer? How do I answer? I feel like I should say yeah, of course, and be nice, but also I'm like, do I do something bad and be why? Okay, I'm gonna be nice. Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay, yeah, sure. I mean, isn't that normal? Of course, but not everyone likes to be the center of attention. I'm probably one of those people, but I guess I should be the one to give the first impression of myself. Right, but it's no problem. Let's go then. My heart. Don't die. My heart is pounding in my chest, and it keeps me thinking about my condition as I follow the teacher up the stairs. The third door down the third floor The third door down the third floor corridor is marked as the classroom for 3-3. He opens the door and enters. That's a creepy painting. Good morning, everyone. Sorry I'm late again. I hesitate for a split second at the door, freezing on the spot. Get a grip. There's a big step. It's so creepy. Let's save. Save again. I need to save. Alright, okay, let's keep going. That's so funny. Okay. Get a grip. This is a big step, I know that. But there isn't any point to worrying so much about it, at least not this soon. Oh, they're so cute. I love them all. I follow the teacher into the classroom and look around, partially so I won't have to meet the curious gazes of my classmates. The song's great. It's pretty spacious. The ceiling is unusually high. There's a lot of space left over around the in between desks. An entire wall taken up by blackboards, and the high old-fashioned windows only make it seem larger. The students' desks are just standard wooden desks with a shelf underneath for books and wooden chairs with the metal frames. Simple and efficient. I stop walking in front of the classroom and face the other students. They all look normal, like students in any other school. But then, why would I be here? Probably like me and have something wrong with them. Only it's just not immediately obvious. Then I notice that one of the girls seems to be missing the thumb of her right hand. It's a little jarring. Despite the natural tendency to listen when someone's talking to you. Oh, I like the girl with the pink hair. She's so cute. I love her design. She got that castanetato design. I tune out in the teacher's speech halfway through while he introduces me to the class. Oh, that person with the braids is cute too. I notice a flash of dark hair and see that someone is looking at me. A girl with really long straight hair that is pretty eye-catching. As she sees me looking back at her, she covers her face with her hands as if it will make her invisible. There is one boy with a cane leaning against the lockers at the rear of the class. It's weird seeing someone so young with a cane. Another girl seems to be making some weird hand motions. Sign language. She peers at me over the rims of her glasses, then goes back to whatever she's doing. She's kind of cute. So is a cheering-looking girl with the pink hair sitting next to her. She's so cute. She's really hard to miss. I don't know how I didn't notice her the moment I walked in. Please welcome our newest classmate. He claps his hands, so does everyone. He claps his hands and so does everyone else, except one girl in the first row who has only one hand. I cringe a little, but hide it by bowing and thanks for the applause I did not deserve. A collective silence tells me that I should open my mouth now. So, I'm Hisao Nakai, and after that, my hobbies are reading and soccer. I hope to get along well with everyone even though I'm a new student. And after that, I'm being so boring. This is exactly like every self-introduction ever. I should say something more exciting. I end up saying nothing and the teacher picks up from there. He's just like, Everyone seems to be satisfied even with what little I said, though. A few girls are whispering to each other, throwing glances at me. It could have gone worse. I got girls whispering about me. 2 sugar donuts to women, am I right? I listen to the teacher as he drones about getting along while letting my gaze sweep across the classroom. Ugh. Everyone seems to be listening to him intently, and when he's done, they clap their hands again, which feels like a weird thing to do. The first row girl claps on her round with her one hand against her other wrist that ends the bandage stump. It makes me feel a little bad. We're going to be doing some group work today, so that'll give you a chance to talk with everyone. Is that okay with you? Yeah, it's fine with me. That's good. You can work with Hakamichi. She is the class representative. And she's beautiful. Is that the girl with the pink hair? She can explain anything you want to know, and who else would be able to do that better, right? How could I know? The teacher passes up the day's assignments and announces that we'll be working in groups of 3. It hits me that I don't know who Hakamichi is. The teacher seems to catch my helpless expression. Oh yeah, Hakamichi is right there. Shizune Hakamichi. Oh, my baby, she's so beautiful. As he calls out her name, the cute, bubbly-looking girl with the bright pink hair and gold eye waves her hands at me. I take a seat next to her by the window. Hey, I guess you're Hakamichi, right? It's nice to meet you. What? I'm caught off guard by her laughter. It's nice to meet you too, but I'm not Hakamichi. I'm Misha. This is Hakamichi, Shi-chan. Giggling, Misha points to the girl next to her, the one I saw using sign language before. It looks like she has been staring at me this whole time, but she nods once nonchalantly to show that she acknowledges my presence, but only barely. It's so good! I love the music in this game so far. She has short yet carefully neatly brushed hair, a pair of oval-shaped glasses balanced on the tip of a dainty nose, and dark blue eyes seem to alternate every few seconds between analytical and slightly bored. It's nice to meet you. She immediately looks at Misha, who smiles and makes a few quick gestures with her hands. Hakamichi nods and makes a few gestures of her own. I start to wonder if the teacher is messing me with saying things like, "You'll be able to talk to people, and who better to explain things to you?" Bro, I can see you're a little confused, right? Right? But I understand why you think I was Shi-chan. Shi-chan is deaf, so I'm the person to translate things back and forth for her. I'm like an interpreter. She says, "It's nice to meet you too." You're the new student, aren't you? Well, Shi-chan, of course he is. If he wasn't, he wouldn't have been standing up there for no reason. Right? Right. He seems like a very interesting person, doesn't he? We knew there was going to be a new student, but we didn't know you would be here today. So soon. Hachan, right? He-chan? Yep, it fits, doesn't it? Did I say it out loud? It's just a surprise. I've never liked that nickname. I don't really see how. It fits. You look just like I imagined. Yeah, you look just like a Hichan. I wonder why everyone seems to think so. Hakamichi taps her fingers on the desk to get Misha's attention. They gesture back and forth to each other excitedly, their hands a blur. I love them. Misha seems a little overwhelmed. Sorry about that. Shi-chan wants you to know that she's the class rep, so if there's anything you need to know, you can feel free to ask her. Do you like the school so far? We can show you around a little if you hadn't had the time to walk around and familiarize yourself with it. Misha stumbles with the hard word a bit, making it stick out to her in otherwise fluid translation. Thanks, that would be pretty helpful. Yeah, I just kind of came straight to class today. That's no good. You should always try to learn as much as you can about where you're going to go, going before you go there, not just with school either. Always, even if it's a trip to the convenience store. Really, Shi-chan? Learn about where you're going. I guess I didn't bother to do that, or just didn't care enough to do so. I didn't look forward to this, even if I committed myself to go along with it half-assedly, but anyway, I didn't say anything, and Misha signed something that ends up in a shrug. What was that? It seems like it was about me. I feel like slumping over in my seat. Both of them are smiling, but that shrug hit me unexpectedly deeply. You look down. Are you okay? Don't take it the wrong way, please. I hate it when people are afraid to ask questions. That's just how people learn things, by asking. Asking for help is perfectly normal, as much as needing help. Stop looking like you just failed a test. Alright. And another thing, you don't have to call Shi-chan something so formal like Hakamichi or class rep all the time. Just call her Shi-chan. Okay, maybe that's too casual. Maybe Shizune would be more appropriate? Yep, Shizune is fine. Okay, that would be a lot easier for me. I feel a lot more at ease. Both of them seem so friendly, so I feel like an idiot for being so apprehensive earlier, especially about Shizune, who I'm assuming would be all business. Well, she still seems like them, just less so, I guess. Huh? Oh, right, we haven't even touched the assignment. We should start work now, or Shi-chan will get mad. The assignment is also kind of long, so we should start now if we want to finish it before the end of class. That too! Shizune glared at the two of us impatiently. I don't need to know sign language to understand that. Okay, I get the message. After class, we can take a walk around the grounds together. It's a nice day today, okay? The assignment is actually very challenging to get through, combining aspects of being both difficult and unnecessarily long. Busy work. Okay. But still, we finished a few minutes earlier than anyone else in the class, despite our late start. Shizune and Misha are really capable. They're quite different, though. The class rep is as calm and professional as she looks, while Misha is a lot more playful and girlish, not to mention a little more easily distracted. To be honest, the two of them did most of the work. I feel guilty about that. Ooh, the clock tower bells ring, signaling the end of the period. Time for lunch. There's that painting again. Without knowing what else to do, I follow Misha, who is beckoning me to the hallway and down the stairs. We descend even below the lobby where I met Matu, down to the bottom floor. The all-seeing eye! So, that's creepy. It's like, I didn't get this far. I didn't not get this far. I'm gonna save again, because I love to save. Okay. Just like everything in the school, the cafeteria seems too spacious and oddly modern in contrast to the classic exterior. Its big windows open to the courtyard, towards the main gate. It's the cafeteria! Her enthusiastic statement of the obvious makes people around us stare, but Misha doesn't seem to care, so we proceed to the line. I love accordions. There is a rather long list of menu options, which seems great until I realize that many of them are to accommodate students who need special diets. How nice. It feels like I'm back at the hospital, eating portions measured with scientific precision to meet the needs of the patients. I pick something at random and follow Shizune to a table sitting opposite of her. And as I nibble indifferently at the food I'd rather not eat, Misha pokes me in the side to get my attention and points to Shizune. I don't understand science, so the point escapes me. Maybe looking at the person who talks to you is proper and polite? Do you want to know something? What? About anything! We're your guides, so you should ask if there is something. I wonder... We're not going to ask you about Shizune's deafness, because that's just rude. We're going to ask about the library. Oh yeah. Is there a library in the school? Lately I've gotten into reading a lot, so I'd like to check it out. Misha gives the kind of frown that makes it clear she doesn't consider reading a healthy hobby, but then picks up her smile again. There is! It's in the second floor. We can show it to you sometime. Thanks. I return to my food while the girls talk between themselves. Misha and Shizune sign back and forth very animatedly, throwing sideways glances at me, but Misha refrains from translating. Talking shit. Maybe they are talking about secret girl stuff or something. I quickly notice the conversation is inside and not enough to fill a silence. We arrive in the classroom early, but we're not the first. Oh, she's poor child. That dark-haired girl I noticed before I slumped over her desk at the last row. She jumps a little and Misha crashes into the room with the elegance of her rhino. She shrinks deeper into her seat. Oh my god, she's so cute. Before Akira. I can feel her tension all the way from here, as if she were slowly turning into stone just from our presence. Misha and Shizune either don't notice or don't mind it, as they walk directly past her to their seats and begin to converse. Aww. I'm left wondering about her, even when the classroom slowly fills with other students and finally the teacher. Getting into the rhythm of school feels strange. It's as if my brain remembers how this is done, but my body doesn't. Towards the ends of class, I start yawning and counting the minutes left. I shouldn't be this tired on my first day of school. Maybe it's the long time spent in the hospital that made me feel like this. I'm even feeling physically weak and lifeless. Don't die. Don't die, bro. Before long, the final bell rings. School is finally over for the day. Beside me, Misha and Shizune are having a short conversation. After a bit of deliberation, Misha turns to me. Unfortunately, we can't stay and show you around today, Hichan. We've got to hurry already, since there's a lot of work for us to do. You'll find your way around here, I'm sure of it. Oh, wait. The teacher said I'd have to see the nurse. Where do I have to go? Is that so? We can at least show you that much. Come on, the nurses have their own buildings. We have to go outside. That frickin' painting is gonna haunt my dreams. We join the flow of students. Let's see. Hot nurse. We join the flow of students making their way down the stairwell and outside, with the girls pointing out other senior classrooms in the same hallway as ours. When we get outside, the girls make their way to the smaller building that right next to the school. It's built in the same style, so it looks like it's actually part of the main building. No, she's probably gonna be hot. Every woman is a queen. This is the auxiliary building here. There's a lot of official and important stuff inside, like the Yamku Foundation office and all the nurses' offices. They even have a swimming pool. How is that official? Don't be silly. Hachan is for the physical therapy, of course. Anyway, all the nursing staff facilities are in there too. The head nurse's office is on the first floor. You'll be fine from here, right? We'll be going then. See you tomorrow. Yeah, thanks. Bye. A whole building for stuff that has nothing to do with actual education? I guess it's necessary for a place like this. Oh, that looks scary. That looks... Ooh. I walk in, hoping that this really will be only a quick visit like the teacher said. On a white door on the left is a green cross with the text, Head Nurse, and a nameplate. Ooh, a voice from the inside responds to my knock almost immediately, but I can't quite make it out. I sound like an invitation to open the door, so I invite myself farther in. Excuse me. The room was not large and it smells strange. A friendly-looking man turns around on his officer to face me as I enter. Is he the hot nurse? His desk is neat and tidy, but the bin under the table is overflowing with used medical utensils, and there are at least a dozen coffee cup rings lingering on the desk. This is the hot nurse? No. Hello there. What can I... Smiling Man is his name. What can I do for you today? He is a lung-looking and sort of rugged, with the dimples in his cheeks wash that impression away when he smiles. Are you the nurse? He smiles like a person who has heard this same question hundreds of times. Why, yes I am. It says so on the door, no? You could call me by my name, or just the nurse, like everyone. Look at a smile. Like everyone else does. Of course, I shake off my confusion, realizing I should probably grab his extended hand. His handshake is rather firm and friendly. Right, I'm a new student, and my homeroom teacher told me to come and meet you. My name is Hisao Nakai. His eyes light up with revelation, and he snaps his fingers. Oh, so you're that Nakai. Oh, we're just reading your file in the morning. Oh, his eyes are open. Some kind of chronic arrhythmia and related congenital heart muscle deficiency, right? He gestures me to sit in a vacant armchair in front of his desk. Yes. Good. Well, you probably... Ow, it just cracked my finger and it hurt. Well, you've probably been briefed about the school enough, so let's go over this quickly. We have all kinds of facilities available, mostly physical therapy and such. There's always... I have to give him a goofy voice. There's always someone from my staff around, even at night, so never hesitate to call us if there is a problem. The famous 24-hour nursing staff. Wow, this is like a... Thanks! Wow, this is like a hospital. Well, not exactly. For instance, we don't do brain surgery here. His joke feels so out of place that I'm left thinking why he even said that. Bruh. Yeah, that's really weird to have so many medical people out of school. You'll get used to it. I'm not so sure of that myself, but I don't let the nurse know it. Now, let me find your file again. Well, he searches for something from his computer and shuffles stacks of papers around. I let my gaze wander around the room. It's the epitome of generic, I'd like to say. Beige walls and ceiling, dark gray laminate flooring, and the equipment you'd expect from a school nurse's office. Even the ridiculous educational posters are hanging on all four walls, reminding me to eat properly 3 times a day and from all the food groups. Smiling, the nurse draws a thick file from a stack of similarly thick files and opens it. So you already have medication for the arrhythmia. Just remember to take your pills every morning and evening or it won't be much help. Apart from that, do you do any sports? Rash stuff like, I don't know, boxing? He grins to his own joke, but I don't. I'm like, I've had enough of you. Well, I played soccer occasionally with some classmates. Alright, I'm afraid I'm going to have to recommend you refrain from doing that. At least for the time being. Oh. My lack of reaction makes him raise an eyebrow, but really, I'm not too bothered by him forbidding me to kick a ball around. I guess I never did it out of burning passion for the sport, just for something to have something to do. Any kind of concussion might be very dangerous to your heart, and risk another attack is not a good idea. Was the previous one caused by a sudden concussion to the chest area? There is no mention of the cause in your papers. Not exactly. I got horny. I sidestep the question acceptably, and he glances at me over his papers with a more serious expression on his face. Still, you need to keep your body healthy, so some exercise would do you good. We have physical therapy and such available, as I said, but I don't think you really need such heavy measures. Just get some light exercise regularly. Brisk walks or even light jogging, jumping rope, the sort of thing. Swimming maybe? There's a pool here. So I was told. You were? Very good. At any rate, I'm sure you've been told this before. You just need to take care and not to overexert yourself. He wags his finger to emphasize the point. No need really, I've heard this 1,000 times already. Absolutely no unnecessary risks. Take care of yourself. Okay. He goes over my papers one more time and sets them on the desk, obviously content. Good. That's it then. Come meet me if you ever need something. No. I'm ushered out of the room before I even realize it. A quick visit indeed. I end up standing in front of the main building and the auxiliary building, although to my eyes they all look like one and the same. It's the first real look I get at the other students, so I watch people coming out of the school, going towards the gate or the dorms. Everyone seems to know where they're going. And I still keep thinking that most of them don't look too special for being students at a special school. Then again, neither do I. Does that make me one of them? One of them? One of us? Exactly, I need to have my sexy time. I should go somewhere too, to prevent me from getting lost. It's around dinner time, but I feel tired instead of hungry. The weirdness and me only grows as I trudge toward the dorms, set a little way apart from the main building complex. Aw, beautiful, beautiful. There is a garden of sorts between the school and the dorms, shrubbery, flowers, and the overbearing smell of fresh cut. I feel like I just had a stroke there. That fills the atmosphere. That you're not a loser. That's something I would do, honestly. It dawns on my tired mind that the smell feels novel because I haven't been outside at all for so long. The dorm. The dorm building is big and made of red brick. Like the others, it feels way too pompous for what it is, so I push forward, going inside. It takes more time than necessary to fish out the key I was given from my pocket. Room 119. Despite the ornate exterior, the inside of the dorm is fairly new, functional, and boring. Just like in the main building, the halls and doors are wide to accommodate wheelchairs. The same goes for elevators at the end of the hallways. I poke my head around the corner of the common room door. Inside, a few students are watching the television. One nods and gives a quick hello before turning back to the TV. Seems that only the girls around here are sociable. I suppose it's perfectly fine with me. I just love girls. I climb the stairs to the upper floor. Here, small corridors branch off the main hallway. One of these minor halls seems to have a toilet and shower, as well as 4 rooms. About halfway down the hall, I spy room 119. Who's the other girl? The nameplates are in the room adjacent to mine are blank. I guess there are just 2 of us here. Light shines from below the door of room 117, so I light. Hello, is anyone home? The other girl. I don't know, okay? From inside. The other girl. I fear a few moments. Then the clicking of way more locks than I thought the door had. After a moment, the door squeaks open. Oh. Yes, another girl. I don't know why I thought a girl. I just thought everyone here is a girl. A bespectacled boy is standing in the doorway. He looks like Harry Potter. He is looking at me very intently through his extremely thick glasses. Who is it? Blind? No, at least not completely. Why would he have eyeglasses if he was? He leans closer to me until our noses are almost touching. His breath stinks of garlic. Sao Nakai. I'm moving into the next room. I thought I should introduce my... His face suddenly brightens in realization, and he stands back upright. I like this song. Upright, thrusting his hand out in a smiling greeting, almost straight to my diaphragm. Oh, sup, dude? The name's Kenji. Hi. I take Kenji's sweaty hand and shake it, still a little rattled by the sudden change of attitude and vehement welcome. There were some suspicious-looking people going in and out of your room earlier. It was probably my parents. Your parents? You sure? Because they could have been some other people too. You can't judge a book by its cover. His out-of-place proverb was left hanging between his awkwardly. I try to think of some way to respond. I'd say the chances are high enough. He shudders and makes some exaggerated hand gestures. You're a brave man, Hisao. Me? I don't think I could trust the chances. The only one I trust is myself. Does that mean I shouldn't get to know you either? Oh, Hisao's had enough. He thinks about this for a while. Why is this Kenji? Damn, you are smarter than you look. Probably. What do you look like? I hope not smart. He squints his eyes and leans closer again. I lean backwards to George. I'm like, no. Never mind. Doesn't matter. With that, he turns, fumbles around for a moment in search of the door handle and shuts the door behind him. I slide the key into the lock of the door marked room 119. Saving time. Okay. Oh, the song. Bleak beige walls, white linen, and desk made of some type of light wood. Ugly curtains. It's no one's room, impersonal, like my hospital room was. My bags are sitting at the foot of my bed, looking a lot emptier than they did this morning. The closet is sitting open, stocked with my clothes. Also, it seems that there are a number of school uniforms hanging there as well. A note is pinned to the sleeve of one of the shirts. Hi, Hichan. We've unpacked your things and made your bed. They said that if these don't fit, then you should go to the office tomorrow. If you have any problems, you can always call us. Love, Mom and Dad. Well, at least I don't have to worry about unpacking. I kind of hope I would have, then there'd be something to do. It's still too early. I put the note down on the desktop and lay down on the bed, feeling drained. Lying there makes me want to read something, but I have nothing with me. I wonder if the hospital conditioned me for wondering whenever I have nothing to do. The restless urge just keeps growing until I have to stand up. Maybe it's stress or something. I was pretty nervous about it before coming and for the entire day today too. I still am, I think. Oh my god. Damn, I have to distract myself somehow so I won't be this unnatural all the time. Tomorrow, I'll go borrow some books from the library. Yeah, I'll do that. But for now... Oh, the bottles and medications neatly arranged at my table kept... Where's the hot librarian? I pick up one and shake it just to hear the contents rattle inside and then read the glued-on pharmacy label. Sao and Nakai. 2 tablets daily to stay alive. So sad. Bro. It doesn't really say that, but it could just as well. Yo, I'll take a look when I'm done. Thanks. I can't wait to see. Okay, you have a good night. Thank you so much for hopping on. I appreciate it. It's kind of twisted, having your life depend on chemicals like this. Thank you. I resent it a little, but what choice do I have? With a sigh, I began my new daily ritual of taking the right number of pills from each bottle, being careful to check the correct dosages. I lie down again, feeling hollow and uncertain, and after that I keep staring at the blank, unfamiliar ceiling for a long time. It doesn't start looking any more familiar, not even as the darkness falls and long shadows draw across my room like fingers, like phalanges. The sheet feels slightly more comfortable, warm and nest-like against the chill that passes for room temperature here. Soon, the lighter shade of darkness that is the ceiling looks like every ceiling does at night, and it becomes the only thing I recognize anymore. The night beckons me to sleep, and I feel the coldness and unfamiliarity and fear creeping up my spine once again. What do I call them? Well, I don't know. I don't know. What do I call them? I keep drifting farther away from the world I knew. Oh, he's sleeping. A Venetian blind. Amazing. Amazing. Oh my god, we're actually getting in. Ooh. I wake up in a strange room. Solid morning light shimmers against the light gray ceiling. I had forgotten to draw the curtains closed last night. This is my room, isn't it? My room. This is the third room here that I'm supposed to call mine. Oh. Various things around here remind me that indeed, it's me who is supposed to be the one living here. My bag's on the floor. Oh, okay. Oh, I see. Am I stupid? My bags on the floor, my new school books on the desk, my numerous medications on the night table. I stare at the bottles for a moment, deliberating until I open a bottle, shake out a pill, and pop out the tablet from a foil sheet. I down them with a chaser of water without thinking about the chemistry. My uniforms are in the closet. I slink out from under the sheets and stretch my back for dressing up. Putting on a new school uniform feels like dressing in someone else's clothes. The artificial smell of generic detergent invades my nose. But the feeling of fresh cloth against my back is a good one, a natural one. It feels like a school uniform, as it should. It's not much different from what I used to wear before. The song's cue is so relaxing. Okay, that goes for other things too. So far, this place seems more or less like a normal school. Except for the people. I like it. I'll have to check it out. I think back to my talk with Kenji yesterday, Misha's constant laughter, and I cannot wait to see. Oops! Where'd I go? It's on the bottom? Oh, small talk. Raindrops and puddles. I can't believe you got it wrong. I am ashamed of you. I thought you were in love with this game. I can't. You're not a true fan, are you? I was kidding. Well, cry. Well, I've only met 3 students so far. Maybe they aren't that normal, but I'm sure others are. Or perhaps people like them are what passes for normal around here? Yeah, what does pass for normal around here? What do people do? I didn't see a lot of kids hanging around after classes yesterday. Cry harder! So maybe there are clubs. If so, I wonder if I should join one. Where's my baby Misha? All through class, the question remains in my mind, so I decided to ask Shizune about it when we split into groups. After all, she did say if I had anything I wanted to know, I should ask her. She crosses. I love her. She's so cute. She crosses her arms and shifts her gaze slowly to Misha, who looks more preoccupied with trying to grind the eraser of her pencil down so the top is perfectly and evenly flat. Sorry, Shichan. Is there anything you wanted from me? Oh, I see. That's a good question, Hichan. My first thought is that means she doesn't know, which is worrying. Maybe I'm being too negative. Well, anyway, Misha, please don't prove me right. Oh, that's right. Everyone is encouraged to join a club. A lot of people do so because there isn't really anything else to do. There are also school events, like the festival coming up in a few days. Almost every student in the school tends to help out doing whatever. So, you actually transferred in at a busy time. Maybe you can help out too. Sure. What's the festival about? Misha freezes. I don't know, Hichan. The truth is it's a local event, and I'm not from this area, so... She starts signing desperately to Shizune, asking her to bail her out. Shizune adjusts her glasses at the end of an oddly grandiose flourish and starts signing hard and heavy. Huh? Oh, who cares? Misha puffs out her chest as she shouts Shizune's words out at me with a disproportionate amount of pride. Too loud. I can see heads turning to look in our direction. Not so loud. Human beings evolve with each new generation. The ideals and beliefs behind the festival inevitably change with time. Now, it's about delicious fried food and amusing little games that you play to win prizes. Ha 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 ha! The teacher clears his throat very loudly, batting his long wooden pointer against his other palm like a baton. He shoots a pointer to gaze at us. Finally noticing where we are, Misha stifles a yelp and quickly quiets down. Shizune doesn't seem embarrassed at all, although brushing it off without care. We are in the middle of class and should start working. That's right, Shichan. What? That's right. Hichan, are you asking because you're interested in joining a club? It could have been my eyes playing tricks on me, but I think I saw a suspicious glance between them. Misha's tone had also changed, although it does every other word anyway. Yeah, I was thinking about it. Misha and Shizune look at each other again. I'm about to ask what they have in mind when something dark flutters in my peripheral vision, catching my attention. Out of the corner of my eye, I see the girl with long dark hair get up from her desk and slip silently towards the door. Oh, poor little child. Poor little baby. It doesn't seem like she was working in any groups, and no one seems to notice her but me. Oh, so sad. I glanced at the teacher, who's also looking at the dark-haired girl go. Why doesn't he say anything? He-chan? Is something wrong? Do I look as uneasy as I feel? Or was it Misha just looking at me? Blah, blah. No, nothing. Okay. Well, like we were asking, you don't have any plans for lunch today, do you? I thought I had to go to the library and pick up some books. Not really. Do you want to have lunch together then? Sure. Yay! Okay, He-chan, perfect. Crack my knee. The rest of class passes uneventfully. The girl with the long hair never came back. Where'd she go? I love her. Before I had the time to put any more thought into where she could have gone, the teacher informed us that it's time to stop working. Goodness gracious. Gone with the wind. Shizune looks a little more annoyed that we only just barely managed to finish all our work on time. I'm just glad they finished it at all. It's not a contest or anything. So bitter. Yes, it is, Hichan! Impossible. Really? Really. I've noticed this before, but it's kind of funny to have Misha is always moving her hands and signing not only everything she says, but what anyone else is saying at any given time. Obviously, it must be so Shizune can understand it. Yep, exactly. That's totally something I do. Her eyes dart back and forth between Misha's hands and me. I don't know who I'm supposed to be looking at. I'm just talking to Misha, but that might be wrong. Maybe I should face Shizune. I'm used to looking in the direction of the person whose voices I'm hearing, but really... Shizune can't hear me, but it'd be disrespectful to talk to her only through Misha. Then again, isn't that what she's doing? No, she's at least looking at me. This is all very confusing. It will take some time to get used to. It's not a contest, because contests are competitions over a prize. If there's no prize on the line, it's not really a contest. Shizune's eyes flash dangerously with a competitive glare. She stares at me as if she's surprised that I'm challenging her. I think maybe this is a contest to her. I've never noticed before how dark and blue her eyes are. It's truly an alluring gaze. Are you sure, Hichan? Very sure. You're wrong, Hichan, because I don't want to be the slowest one in the class. Therefore, what's on the line is my confidence in my abilities, and the prize is the satisfaction of proving them. Shizune pushes her glasses up the bridge of her nose in a very matter-of-fact way. I'd argue more, but the bell rings, and she quickly gets up and picks up her bag, looking at me expectantly. There's that freaking painting! I had almost forgotten that I was supposed to have lunch with them. Where do you want to eat? The cafeteria? That's so plain. Okay, let's go. Plain? Well, I guess. At my old school. No, I refuse. I like to eat outside near the back of the building. It was a good spot, but I didn't find it until the end of my freshman year. I wonder if there's a similar place to eat here. Misha seems to imply as much. Shizune and Misha pull me towards the cafeteria, which is surprisingly not packed. Maybe some students' favorite eating in the classroom or outdoors. I saw some of my classmates had boxed lunches. After we finish eating, Misha picks up where he left off earlier. So, Chan, you wanted to know about clubs and stuff, right? Right, Chan. Okay, I guess it makes sense to ask first. Exchanging little nods of confirmation, they turn to face me again, and Misha straightens her posture as if she's about to deliver a speech. Chan, do you have anything you're really interested in? I used to play soccer, but I'm not really into it. I don't follow the teams and players or anything like that. As of late, I usually just read a lot. There is a book club, right, Shichan? Right. But it seems they all have all the members they can possibly have right now. Sorry, Hichan. It's a really popular club. Okay. But more to the point, Hichan, does this mean that you don't have anything already in mind? Not really. Good. Great. That's great, Hichan. Really great. Why is it so great? No reason. Well, Hichan, other than clubs and upcoming festival, there's one other thing. Student council! I see. I didn't know the school had a student council. That was a very melodramatic setup, though, just to tell me that. I'm pretty sure the two of them know this because Shizune looks a little embarrassed about it and Misha is laughing. Shizune quickly retakes control of the discussion. In a matter of speaking, after all, it's still Misha who has to voice whatever she says. Haha, right. Hechan, maybe I should join the student council. They could use more people. Yes, definitely. You should definitely join. Why? Well, for one, we can hang out every day, Hechan. Hechan and I are both in the student council. Actually, Hechan is the president. I'm starting to get a suspicion that that Shizune and Misha might not exactly be the most unbiased people to talk about this with. As of reading my mind, Shizune quickly adjusted glasses and started saying to Misha. Of course, we're not trying to get you to join just because you would obviously benefit from you joining the student council, and therefore have an incentive to try to get you in. So, you're admitting that... No, we admit nothing. I mean, Hechan, of course it would be nice if you joined, and we'd appreciate it. But even without all that, joining the student council has shown to help the interest in the workings of one school. Yep, it's true. Hechan, besides, don't you want to spend time with us after school, Hechan? Can't tell if she's being genuine or if this is just a really good acting. Both of them seem to be trying hard to look their cutest, although they are already pretty cute to begin with. Well, so it's settled then. Welcome. Okay, welcome to the student council, Hechan. What? No. See, Hechan, of course it wouldn't go so easily. Yep, that's right. Though it'd be boring if it went that smoothly. Oh well, Hechan owes me candy now. You were betting on it? Hey, my life is not a game here. Shizune seems very intrigued by this when Misha signs it to her. The aggressive glint returned to her eyes. Woohoo! That's interesting, Hechan. Let's play a game. That's not what I said. How about rich man, poor man, Hechan? If you lose, you have to join the student council. No, absolutely not. Why not? Well, because you two both have the same incentive and therefore the same goal, which is to get me to join the student council, right? Yep. Yeah, that isn't my goal. What this means is that both of you can team up and I'll be at a clear disadvantage. So I will have to decline. Hechan, I'm very offended. Are you saying you don't trust us and that we would pull something so disingenuous? That makes me sad. Sorry? It's hard to tell when Shizune's influence ends and Misha's thoughts begin. In order to atone for hurting a young girl's feelings, you should definitely join the student council. No! How about a game of paper football instead of rich man, poor man? Paper football? Yeah, it's a game they play in America. You take a paper triangle, and then you try to shoot it past goalposts that the other players make with their fingers. Isn't it cool? It's the ultimate form of competition between two people, Hechan. And it's also played by elementary and middle school children, Hechan. Wahaha! That means it's a game that really separates the boys from the men. More like the boys from the slightly older boys. Anyway, I'm not going to play that either. Just the fact that you already know about it means you're probably surprisingly good at it. yeah, that's true. How did you know, Hechan? Shizune frowned at Misha, telling me that she probably wasn't supposed to admit that she's so readily. I wouldn't say that I'm happy with their attempts to get me into the student council, but I'm a little curious about what the student council does here. I've never been on one before, or even known anyone who was a member, so that interests me. I also kind of like Shizune and Misha, so maybe it wouldn't be so bad. Okay, Hechan, how about Risk? The game of world domination. I don't know what that is. It's really fun, Hechan. You fight for control of the world with armies and everything. Sounds like Shizune would be good at it. If you want to play, we can after school. Are there mini games in this game? Really, Hechan? We can just play for fun, Hechan. Hechan hasn't played in a long time, so if you want to, there's no strings attached. Okay, I see. That makes sense. Well, okay. Okay, perfect. We'll see you after school in the student council room then, Hechan. Wait, why there? Because that's where we keep the game. I grimaced to tell them how much I did not like this, but it's more for show than anything. So in the end I agree, but only after getting Shizune to acknowledge I don't mean anything concrete just by accepting to take a look around and play a game with her. I gotta save now. Okay. Lunch ends and we go back to class. Oh, she was there! She was there! During afternoon classes, the long-haired girl comes back and sits down in a seat without a word. Again, no one seems to notice. Or if they do, no one says anything. I want to ask Misha about it, but I don't want to be nosy. Okay. After school, Shizune and Misha quickly find me by the first floor lobby and latch onto me, covering each flank in case I might try to escape. I feel a little offended, but I've been considering it. Nevertheless, I'm a bit disturbed that enough people have made a break for it in the past that they're on their guard. That's funny. What's with the escort? This doesn't make me feel very comfortable. In fact, it makes me feel like a dangerous prisoner being transported to a cell. What's wrong, Hee-chan? That's right, we're just going to go play a game of Risk, remember? I don't know, Misha, this all seems a little sinister to me. I start thinking that when we sit down to play a game, they'll tie me down and torture me until I agree to join the student council. Well, that's highly unlikely, but still. For some reason, it just seems like it would be so plausible. Getting to the student council room was as simple as turning 2 corners from where we started. What? That's it? That makes you guys being so on top of me seem a little silly. That's not true, Hee-chan. The Chan said that Sachan says that when their life is threatened, people have shown the capability to pull a superhuman burst of speed. Life is threatened? Her expression unchanging, Misha signs something amusedly to Shizune, who makes his baffling face and puts her hands behind her back, looking pleased with herself. Misha feigns deafness and hums cheerily. Stop that. I know you heard me. You have no excuse, unlike Shizune. Shizune opens the door to the student council room. It's a very plain, sparsely decorated room, although it's quite large, maybe even a little larger than a classroom. There's a big table in the center surrounded by chairs, and there's a smaller desk prominently placed in the back that I assume is Shizune's. There are a few regular desks and chairs stacked to one side as well. Extras, perhaps? Aside from the tables and chairs, the room doesn't have much else to offer. Just a couple of filing cabinets and bookshelves stacked with old-school records and documents. Not much else. In fact, nothing else. This is a pretty bleak room. They could at least put a potted plant in here, or something. But the most noticeable thing that this room doesn't have is other people. Are we early? No? What do you mean, no? Does it mean nobody else is coming in today? Yeah, that's right! Before I manage to ask why that's the case, Shizune claps her hands together very energetically. Hee-chan, let's play Risk. Come on, you promised, didn't you? You have to. Okay. Do you want to know the rules? We can explain to you while we set everything up. While Misha is talking, Shizune takes out what looks like a board game from behind one of the filing cabinets and throws it on the table. Actually, this looks kind of interesting. After Misha spends a little too long for her liking running through the basics with a somewhat vague and confusing tutorial, Shizune cuts in and declares the game has been started with a decisive motion, slicing her arm through the air. Shizune's aggressiveness is rubbing off onto me. I start feeling a little more competitive than I intended to be when I agreed to this. This is funny. I love this. Halfway into the game, while I try to ponder how to defend against Shizune's assault from 2 fronts, she breaks my concentration by drumming her fingers on the table to get my attention. Sachan wants you to know that you're taking too long to make a move. Sachan says that she would let you keep Australia if you agree to join the student council. I thought this was a game with no strings attached. Just the fact that she would dangle it over my head as an offer means that she knows I care about the outcome of this game. And anyway, no. Chan admires your fighting spirit and be benevolent dictator who will spare your people if you agree to join the student council. You're so competitive, Shizune. She seems to take this as a compliment. What is that word? I don't know. She expects the student council. Okay. Magna Gozaimasu. She doesn't seem to know what that word means or how it's signed. She just pulls out a piece of paper and writes it for Shizune, who returns signed it back to Misha. Misha presses her index fingers against her temples, trying to physically imprint the word into her memory. Suddenly, Shizune bursts into a flurry of gestures. Misha looks daunted by the pace of her heated signing. Wait, please slow down, Shichan. Hichan, Shichan says you're going to lose. Tell her how I will crush her world empire with my rebellion. Okay. Those eyes of her shine with a childlike mischief. Look at Shizune. That's cute. I love it. Oh my god, that's so great. She's like, That was adorable. She says you have no chance if you keep playing this. No, you won't. Okay. I don't know what to do. It's a trap. It's like that's just trying to psych me out. Looking at the board again, I have a pretty good defense set up, and I'm not going to wreck it by doing something reckless. If you turn later, I lose the game anyway. Shizune adjusts her glasses victoriously and allows herself to tentatively pump a fist into the air in celebration. Oh no! Hichan, you lost when you allowed me to take North America. I mean, Shichan, not me. Getting control of North America is ambitious because it provides a 5-army bonus, but you can attack it from 3 fronts, so you must defend them all. I thought you'd have more guts. How disappointing. Ambition. Hichan, your play needs to be more daring. Ambition! I was really excited when you took South America, but then you switched to playing defensively just because you gained a small advantage. That's no good, Hichan. I've bricked up and messed up! You didn't take enough risk, and when you did, you didn't follow through. That's terrible, Hichan. I made a boo-boo. Oh, cool. That makes me feel better. Damn, what's it to her if I play too carefully? There's no need to rub it in my face. Oh, she's getting closer. I wonder if you'd even be any good for the studio. What's this? Reverse psychology? I guess I don't have to worry about joining or not in that case. Giving up just like that? I expected more of you. They're just like, join. Seriously, is Shizune trying to talk me into joining the council? Besides, I don't even want to join. It's only my 2nd day. I can't make that kind of commitment. I haven't even taken a look at any other clubs yet. And these two, they're a little weird. Fine, I'll consider joining the council, but I want to take a look at the clubs before I decide. Really, Hichan? You're not just saying that to make us feel better? Yeah, I'm not sure that's what I want to do. Yes. Cool. Aww. Okay, Hichan, but we're not going to give up so easily. You said maybe there is still a chance to come around. Oh, look at the emotes when I save? Why? Oh. What's going on? I'm scared. Come on, we could really have fun. We could play more Risk and maybe one day you could beat me unless we graduate before that. That doesn't make me feel any less reluctant about joining, you know. Let's see. Surely you're not that terrible at board games. Maybe we could play a game, you know, then, to give you a handicap. I might have just said that to make you feel better after all. That's cool, Hichan. I take a glance at the clock on the wall and realize I spent far longer playing Risk than I expected. That's cute. That's really cute. I like that, Roman Viking. Sorry, I think I have to go. I wanted to go to the library. It's not closed yet, is it? Shizune scratches her head and gestures at Misha. How hard can it be to determine whether the library is open? There's a clock right there on the wall. It should be, unless the librarian is absent. I think you're right, Shichan. Well, I think the library is open. It's on the 2nd floor. Can't miss it. Do you want to show us where it is? No, thanks. It's okay. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye! Oh, that's another interesting painting. Oh, God. Oh, okay. Wyatt, of course, and plain like hallways, only hallways can be. The problem is that the library's whereabouts not as easy to determine as one would think. The classrooms are marked with signs starting which class they belong to, but then there is a plethora of others unmarked rooms. Is the library one of them, or is it just somewhere down the hallway? I bet on the ladder and choose my direction at random. After I turn around the corner, an unmarked door draws my attention because it's not closed. It's not open either, though, just barely ajar so that I can see its opening and nothing else. It would make sense for the library door to be invitingly open. While this one is not quite that, it's good enough. At the very least, it makes it that someone is inside. I can ask for directions no matter how embarrassing that is. Did the font just change? The font did it change? Wait, am I going crazy? It's like it got lighter. Like the font color changed. I gingerly push on the center of the door with my fingertips, every muscle in my arm ready to pull back at a moment's notice. The feeling of being an outsider to the school can't be shaken from my mind, so much that I instinctively feared doing something wrong by entering. That scared me. The door slowly creaks as if groaning from a deep sleep, though it was much easier to open than I anticipated. Leaning over and poking my head even farther inside to gain sight of the room as fast as possible, the meek "Hello?" on my lips is quickly snatched away. Oh my god, it's a baby! Oh, she's so pretty. This is not as I was expecting. I mindlessly let the door open to its fullest extent, taking in the sight of the solitary figure taking center stage in the otherwise abandoned room. The situation steals my voice, leaving me standing at the doorway staring at the beautiful girl. Evidently having taken her time to assess the situation, the girl gently puts down her teacup and opens her eyes but doesn't look at me. Hello there. May I help you? Staring directly in front of herself, the movements of her lips seem to break the silence rather than the words. However, it's the soft and measured voice that reminds me she's being separate from the room itself. Not only is she like the tallest girl I've ever laid eyes on, but even among the foreigners I've met, she's strikingly distinct. Sorry for intruding. I was just kind of lost. She takes a moment to formulate a response before speaking. Every action she takes feels carefully choreographed beforehand. Care to take a seat? Unexpected, considering that I'm intruding upon her. Thanks. I slowly step toward another seat opposite of her. The girl resting the teacup and saucer on the wooden table in between. The way she doesn't track my movements with her head is telling. That and the slight cloudiness to her eyes means she must be at least partially blind, like Kenji. Come to think of it, her voice doesn't have any detectable accent either. I guess she must be half Japanese. As I take my seat, her composure takes me slightly off guard. Her air of relaxed confidence makes the silence entirely comfortable. The calming atmosphere is so very different from the student council office. I take it you're a new student to Yamaku? Yeah, I just transferred in yesterday. I get the distinct feeling my speech patterns don't match the formality of hers, accentuated by her Shanbo greeting, one which I hasten to match before realizing the futility of the action. I'm Lily Sato. She's so cute! Pleased to meet you. Hasao Nakai. She gives a nod before gesturing roughly in the direction of her teacup. Would you care for a drink? Sure. As much as it pains me, I can't step with her formality in the proceedings. She kinda gives a nod, taking the request in stride. Without another word, she steps off the chair and prepares a second cup of tea from a collection of supplies laid out along a shelf. A brush here, a brush there, her left hand often lightly touching the side of whatever container she's pouring into. It seems to be a process she's followed a dozen times before. As I lean sideways to see around her back, she seems to use her long, dainty finger to measure the right amount of water in the cup. It's one thing to see the different disabilities the students in my class have, but it's quite another to see how everyone seems to adapt. Shizuna and Misha had no problem working together to communicate to me, and Lily herself seems to have workarounds for problems I never thought of. When I feel slightly guilty about her doing the work, she seems pleased to be following the correct process of the offer of preparing the drink. So, her soft voice brings me out of my silence and servants. Oh, she's so cute! Which room were you looking for? It's not often this classroom is visited after school. The school library. Shizuna and some classmates told me it was on this floor. She finishes pouring water into the teacup as she nods, a small metallic tapping coming from the teacup indicating it being stirred. I'm aware of Miss Hakamichi, as are most students. To be with them means you're in class 3-3, no? That's right, in the science room with Matu. She gives a slight giggle before setting down the teaspoon and slowly walking towards the table, a teacup and saucer in hand. He's quite a character. I imagine you'll come to like him. Most do. Oh, this is so cute. I love them. As she sets down the tea, I gently take it and have a sip. It's really more of a coffee I'm really more of a coffee person, but it seems like a rather bad moment to bring it up. Nonetheless, the smell is quite nice. I hardly think it'd be hard to choke down. Thanks, Sato. It really smells nice. It tastes really nice. Ugh. It's really good. I like it. She smiles and quickly waves her hand in front of her face. Lily, please. There's no need to be too formal. She says this in spite of her exceedingly well-bred speech. Oh well. I guess I should try and ask her about herself, as it really does seem as if she's catering to me. So which class are you from? I imagine it's one of the third-year classes. Correct. I'm in class 3-2, which is on the 3rd floor. Same as yours. It's taught by Miyagi, especially for both blind and partially blind students. I see. Sorry. I feel like slapping myself for the faux pas. Looking at her face, although she doesn't seem in the least but put off by it. My, there's no need to change your speech on my account. Sure. Sorry, I guess I'm really showing my newness here. An environment like this would be a big change, so I can't fault you for it. While the same can't be said for everyone, many have come to terms with their conditions. A category which include her, it seems. All try to jump ship from this particular topic as to go into another. Do you come here to drink tea often? It's a pretty nice place. Thinking on it, this might be her version of the place behind my school that I like to have lunch at. I come here fairly often during lunch times. My duties as class representative don't leave enough time for an official club, so a friend and I use this room for having tea. Class representative, huh? Compared to Shizune, her manners seem to be almost completely opposite. While Shizune's blunt and fiercely driven, Lily seems relaxed and calm, almost aloof. Come to think of it, she must be useful for a less biased view of the school's clubs. What kind of clubs are there to join? The more popular ones are the track and field club, which uses the field near the school during lunch times, the baseball club, and the book club in a room near the library. There are also numerous small ones too, such as the art and music clubs. At a time when I was wanting to get out my feet, rushing into a club right away seemed slightly unappealing. I wonder if the school shares the same rule as my old one. Is it compulsory to join a club? It isn't, though it is encouraged. Ah, good. That's a relief. I really let my guard down around this girl to let such a thing slip out. The fact seems to slightly amuse her. Not wanting the tea to get cold, I finally start drinking it as Lily does the same. Oh, it's so pretty! As I look over to the window over her shoulder, I notice light coming into the room has a distinctly orange tint. Even here, time doesn't stand still. The time's gone quickly. Sorry? Right, she's blind. Of course she can't see the sun setting. It just looks like the sun's starting to set. Seems to come as a surprise to her. I guess she must have lost track of time. Sorry, Hisao. I didn't mean to keep you from the library for so long. I quickly moved to allay her concern. This song's funky fresh. No, it's okay. The library's still open, isn't it? She pauses and takes a moment to think on it. It's probably something I should have asked Shizune when I had the chance, but Lily seems likely to know in any case. True. It's open until 6:30 until weekdays. A quick glance at my watch confirms I have well enough time to get there. I might get going in that case. It's been nice talking with you, Lily. She smiles and gives a deep nod, her hands still neatly folded on the table in front of her. It was my pleasure. Oh, come to think of it, shall I show you to where the library is? I couldn't possibly ask for more help. I should be able to find it all right. Well, unless my navigational skills fail me, which I seem to have the habit of doing. It's all right. I was going to be talking to the librarian there in any case. I can introduce you. This gets better and better. It's pretty hard to deny her offer. If you're sure, then that'd be great. Thanks. Oh, she's so cute. As she stands up to follow me, she takes hold of a straight, retractable cane that has slipped between the handle of her bag on the floor. Compared to the cane the boy in my class had, Lily's looks much thinner and longer. Hers must be for support, whereas Lily's for navigation. Yes, I can tell. She's so cute. Together, we leave the peaceful room and enter the empty hallway on the way to the library. Ugh, painting. I don't know which painting's worse. Side by side, my pace carefully slowed to match hers. We slowly walk through the hallway. It doesn't take long for us to arrive at the door to the warm-looking room, apparently situated in the center of the floor rather than either wing. Ladies first. She gives an appreciative smile at the gesture, taking lead as we file in. To the left is a wooden library counter, with the library proper being on the right. It easily dwarfs my old school's library with the distinct smell of old books, giving the place an almost old-world air. There don't seem to be a lot of students here. Considering the time, it isn't a big surprise. Everyone's probably either in the school grounds or the dorms. Yuko, are you here? She says it to thin air since the librarian doesn't seem to be present, and of course Lily can't see this. What's unexpected that draws a reaction? Something from under the counter thuds against it, followed by a quiet wail. Is this the hot librarian? Aww. Oh, she's cute! The origin, apparently the librarian, quickly crawls out and bounces up into the extremely rigid attentions. Hi, Lily, can I help you? Her voice is strained and failing an attempt to sound casual, and she's rubbing the back of her head. Hi, Lily, can I help you? Good afternoon. What happened just now? I heard a strange sound. It's nothing, I just hit my head. See, I dropped an eraser under my desk while I was looking for a pencil. And while I was looking for a pencil dropped, and when I was looking for both of them, you came and surprised me. Are you alright? I'm sorry, I couldn't know. It's okay. Sorry for making you worry. This is nothing. I've had worse happen to me. She was quick to reverse Lily's apologies, although was frantically trying to push aside the possibility that she could have been in any way inconvenienced by bashing her head on the counter. Yes, poor things have happened. The girl fidgets with her fingers as Lily doesn't seem to drop her concerned expression, and then shuffles some papers around the counter for no reason. A little shorter than Lily, replete with glasses, freckles, and a very troubled look, she seems to fit the library perfectly. Oh, Lily, did you get my message? Message. Oh, the two imported books that arrived? Right, they finally came. I can't believe it took so... Exactly. Amidst her celebrations, partially for managing to change the topic, I'm sure, she notices me from the corner of her eye and freezes up on the spot when she does. Oh no, I'm sorry for not noticing you before. Do you need to check out a book or return one? I'm sorry. The way she came so quickly shift between moods is a little unsettling. He's with me. Yuko, this is Hasao, a new student. Hasao, this is Yuko, the school librarian. Pleased to meet you. Hasao, right, Hasao. Pleased to meet you too, Hasao. Okay, sorry guys, I'm actually getting really tired and I have work tomorrow, so I'm gonna save, and we are gonna end it here. Thank you guys for watching in Roman Viking. I will return on this game next Thursday. So, thank you so much. Thank you everyone for watching.